or anti-clockwise. It doesn't matter. For the right now, let's say this is clockwise. Okay, and you know that in beam, especially in I section or wide flange section, what happened? The bending moment simply converted into a push and pull, okay, or tension and compression. Simply, if the bending moment is m and this depth between the center of these two flanges is d, what is the value of t or c? Simply m by d. Okay, so it is clear that due to this support moment m, here a compressive force c and here a tensile load t is being applied. Also, the vice versa is applicable if this moment is anti-clockwise. Okay, so at this point we are getting a compressive load. Okay, and if you simply look into the cross section of this column, we can see that this is the compressive load C, this is the point, and in cross section it looks like this. Okay, this is the column section and this is the C. So here the load is being applied, C, or you can say this is nothing but equivalent to a fixed end column. Okay, a fixed end column which is subjected to a compressive load, and due to this compressive load simply this try to buckle. Okay, so to resist this buckling, if the radius of gyration are about this axis or about this axis is less, in that case what will happen? This wave will buckle. To resist this buckling, what we have to do? We have to simply increase this radius of gyration, and the best way to increase this radius of gyration is to put this stiffener. If we put the stiffener, let's say this is the I section and we are putting the stiffener only in one side. Okay, here this is the stiffener. Obviously in this case the R is more compared to this R, and even if this R1 is not sufficient, in that case we'll put another stiffener at this side also. Okay, so if you now apply a load, suddenly compared to this one, this is more stable. Here the wave is more stable under buckling action. Okay, so that's why in this picture here you can see that this stiffener has been used like this.